Welcome to all the Virgo rising signs of our zodiac. It's Cosmic Girl 101 talking about the astrology for March 2025 in this video. Trust you're doing well. I titled the video Manic March. The celestial activity is incredible in this month, and I'm going to be talking about what that all means for you in this video. Let's get to it, Virgo rising. Venus will be retrograde all month of March. From the 1st to the 27th, she'll be retrograding in Aries. And then from the 27th to the 30th of March, she'll be retrograding in Pisces, her sign of exaltation, where she does very, very well. In Aries, not so well. So from the 1st of March to the 27th, with retrograde Venus in Aries, what you want to harmonize with, have a relationship with, feel good about is the topics and subjects of death, tax, inheritance, and other people's resources. You're seeking something to take shape and form. And that means something quite solid and certain when it comes to those subjects and topics of the 8th house. But when Venus is retrograde, it's indicating setbacks, delays, and changes with those things that you want to harmonize with. So it may be far reaching or hard going to get a resource or support from someone. It may be difficult to navigate the topics and subjects of death and inheritance, tax, and debt. So expect with Venus retrograde to really ruffle up your well-laid plans in regards to harmonizing with those subjects and topics. On the 3rd of March to the 15th of March, Mercury will be ingressing into Aries, but will be direct. And from the 15th of March, your ruling planet Mercury goes into a retrograde. And for the 15th of March, your ruling planet Mercury will be retrograde all the way to the end of the month. So that's important for you because Mercury is your ruling planet, Virgo rising. So whatever Mercury is doing, your body, mind, spirit, and soul responds in kind. So from the 3rd to the 15th of March, with Mercury, your ruling planet, transiting in Aries, joining up with retrograde Venus in your 8th house of other people's finances, debt, tax, inheritance, and the subjects of death. This is what you are all invested in. So it is you being very mercurial about these topics and subjects. So doing research, getting really good plans, trying to have some negotiations, trying to find out how you are intertwined with other people's resources and if they support you or if they don't. So if you want to seal a deal, for example, or get a big contract, from the 3rd to the 15th would be the time frame I would advise you to execute, because after the 15th, when your ruling planet Mercury goes into a retrograde, those topics and subjects and things that you want to begin and harmonize with become more difficult for you. So not particularly easy, huh? Straight out of the gate, we're talking about the planets in transit in March. Moving on to the 7th, Mars, which is the ruler of that 8th house, is trining the sun in Pisces. So with Mars trining the sun, a trine indicates things that are easy to connect with. So this can be a benefactor, a friend, or a social connection that may give you some inspiring, uplifting news about a relationship or a partnership or potentially an agreement or a contract that they're connected to, or are letting you know as a Virgo rising that there may be something auspicious on the horizon coming towards them that in some way, shape, or form benefits you. And so expect good news on the 7th of March. On the 11th, your ruling planet Mercury conjuncts retrograde Venus. And on the same day, the Sun conjuncts Saturn. So the 11th of March is a really big day, Virgo risings. Okay, let's talk about this. So Mercury, your ruling planet, has an intimate conversation with retrograde Venus. So this could be a tough conversation about other people's resources, shared finances, debt, tax, inheritance, and death. This could also indicate that you want to potentially start putting your feelers out regarding where you can extract a good deal regarding education or a travel destination. Also, where you can pick up some work is what I'm getting for you on the 11th with your ruling planet Mercury conjuncting retrograde Venus. And the same day, the Sun conjuncts Saturn. So this may also indicate where you're trying to start something long term. A Sun Saturn conjunction is no BS about a firm road ahead regarding a relationship, contract, or an agreement. So it looks like you are trying your very best to either seal a deal. It could be international or with education, anything to do with foreigners or your livelihood. Looks like something is starting to take shape and form, but may have some adjustment points along the way in regards to getting to your whatever it is your destination may be, Virgo rising. So the 11th of March will be quite a significant day. On the 13th, Uranus sextiles the Sun. And so this can be a sudden, really quick, swift turnaround coming from Uranus in your ninth house of travel, education, and foreign people, places, and faces. And this could be like an international offer, an educational offer. You could also be experiencing a bit of luck on this day that you weren't expecting, that improves your sense of optimism when it comes to expansion, whether it's through travel or education. And it could be tied into a relationship or a contract, for example, on the 13th. So that looks quite uplifting for you on the 13th of March. On the 14th, we have our first eclipse of the month, and this one is a total lunar eclipse, and it's happening in Virgo. So this is for your rising sign. So this eclipse is happening in your first house. So this is your body, what you want to begin, what you want to start, who you are. This is all about you, Virgo rising. And with the moon in its full bloom in a total lunar eclipse phase, this is showing where a lot of your effort and time in yourself or what you're invested in is starting to blossom. And that could be a fitness or routine regime that you've been on for a very long time. And finally, those muscles start coming through your shirt, for example, or you may start to really get a lot of attention regarding what you bring to the table or what you have to offer. So you could be all up in the spotlight, if you will, on the 14th of March. And yes, a lunar eclipse can also indicate for you, Virgo rising, a change of environment, like a residential change or move, may also be up for grabs with this lunar eclipse on the 14th of March. The next day, on the 15th, your ruling planet Mercury goes into a retrograde. So Mercury will be retrograde for the rest of the month. When your ruling planet goes into retrograde, I mean, you just had that eclipse only the day before, and Mercury was situated in Aries in your 8th house. And so when Mercury retrogrades in Aries in your 8th house on the 15th of March, what you can potentially as a Virgo rising experience is taking the foot off the pedal, not pushing an agenda so hard. So it's like on the 14th, something really big, comes to pass for you, or you have a moment where you have a big personal achievement or accolade that you've been working on very hard for a long time come to pass. And then the next day on the 15th, you go, that's enough. I can settle down. I can take my time. And again, retrogrades indicate setback, delays, and changes of well laid plans. So you might be toing and froing in and out, dipping your toes in and out of the potentials of your finances with shared resources, debt, tax, inheritance, and debt. You might really start thinking, I really don't need to be pushing that agenda so hard right now. It's almost like the Virgo risings have bigger fish to fry, and your ruling planet retrograde from the 15th in Aries indicates that you've done enough researching and pitching and doing what you need to do to get the contract or get a deal, get on top of those heavier topics of life, of mentality. And now you can just wait for information to come through, people to get back to you, or I just feel like you have less energy to deal with the more denser things of our reality from the 15th of March moving forward. Okay, moving on to the 19th. The Sun conjuncts Neptune. So the Sun is about purpose and life, and when it conjuncts Neptune, the planet of illusion, fantasy, this can be a dream relationship or contract or agreement that is up in the spotlight on the 19th. So I wouldn't be too surprised if you're taken by the hand and swept into pleasure zone on the 19th. This would be the day where you and a partner can just have total enjoyment together, or at least you can fantasize about the potentials of a real relationship or a contract actually come into your reality. So either way, on the 19th, it just looks like a day of absolute bliss. So enjoy it. I think Virgo risings will need it come to the 19th of March with all that activity going on in your 8th house and now moving into your 7th house. On the 20th, we have the spring equinox begin in the northern hemisphere and the autumn equinox begin in the southern hemisphere. So a changing of the guard, new seasons coming on the 20th, no matter where you're situated on our gorgeous planet. And the sun ingresses into Aries, and this is your 8th house where Venus and Mercury are currently retrograding. And the sun is exalted in the zodiac sign of Aries. So this is the ideal zodiac sign for the sun to be in. And this transit will be for 4 weeks in your 8th house. And when the sun ingresses into Aries, it is the beginning of the new astrological year. So astrologers consider when the sun ingresses into Aries, it's like New Year's Day. So for you, with the sun exalted in Aries in your 8th house, where Venus and your ruling planet Mercury are retrograding, this is like really focused on your 8th house now. So you've got 3 planets in that 8th house. So that 8th house is becoming really important for the Virgo rising signs out there. With the sun in Aries, it's all about where you can grow from here, where you can go from here. What's your purpose when it comes to shared finances, debt, tax, inheritance, debt? What's your intention with this house? The sun is going, there is opportunity for growth. There is opportunity to get things going and build significant connections and relationships, but also have a healthier relationship with mortality and getting your ducks in the row for the future. Whether you're helping other people do this or you yourself are contemplating such things with the sun in Aries for 4 weeks, those little musings, if you will, of life become easier to handle. So really nice transit. Moving on to the 21st, we have retrograde Venus sextile Pluto. So we have a nice link up with Venus and Pluto, and this indicates nothing but the truth day coming from your co-workers or a service that you are connected to. And this will have a knock-on effect regarding finances and how other people support you. So expect some pretty good news on the 21st, but quite direct and forward. It would be easy for you to take an opportunity to connect with a service or a work contract on this day, but I wouldn't dilly dally around too much because this is a very quick sextile. It's almost like you're on the job and then someone says, "Oh, there's another job going," and then you go, "You either take it or you don't." It's that sort of feeling I'm getting on the 21st. On the 23rd, the Sun conjuncts retrograde Venus. So there can be a return of optimism regarding well laid plans for travel, international and foreign connections and affairs, education, your livelihood, and your assets and possessions becoming more optimistic now. So something's changing and transforming in your eighth house, and the Sun conjunct retrograde Venus on the 23rd indicates that there's good news moving forward regarding plans for travel, international and foreign connections, and education, and especially your livelihood. So that looks really good, Virgo rising. Then the next day, the Sun conjuncts your ruling planet, retrograde Mercury. So this can also double down from the 23rd, the day before, that there's a sense of life force coming back regarding what it is that you want to do with your body, your sense of self, who you are, and how is this having a knock-on effect with your career, your public image, achievements that you want to achieve, and superiors in your workplace. Expect good news on the 24th with the Sun conjuncting your ruling planet Mercury retrograde. On the 27th, we have retrograde Venus ingress back into Pisces, your seventh house. So this is her zodiac sign of exaltation. So we've got the Sun exalted in Aries. We've got a very happy Sun, and now we've got a very happy Venus because she's back in her exaltation sign of Pisces. And that's your seventh house of relationships, partnerships, agreements, contracts, rest, and pleasure. So on the 27th, when Venus retrogrades back into Pisces and conjuncts Neptune, this is doubling down on the conjunction with Neptune earlier in the month. When Venus retrogrades back into Pisces and conjuncts Neptune, it indicates that there's something quite ethereal going on here regarding your livelihood, your possessions, things that support you, your world travel or plans, education, or foreigners. Something auspicious is happening on the 27th. Expect good news when Venus conjuncts Neptune on the 27th. The 29th, your ruling planet Mercury retrogrades back into Pisces in your seventh house, joining retrograde Venus. So Venus is exalted in Pisces, and your ruling planet Mercury is in detriment and fall in Pisces. But thank the goddess we have an exalted Venus there helping. And we also have Saturn, Neptune, and the North Node in Pisces. So your seventh house is super focused. So when your ruling planet retrogrades back into Pisces, this is about negotiation time. Let's talk about the potentials. Let's talk about the realities of my relationships, my partnerships, my contracts, my agreements, things that I find pleasure in, things that I want to end. Let's see if we can wrap some stuff up. So that's what you focused on from the 29th of March, on where you can get the good deals, who you can partner up with, who's your person moving forward, and what you can end and complete. And that's certainly on your mind because your ruling planet's retrograding back in your seventh house. The same day on the 29th, we have our second eclipse of the month, and this is a partial solar eclipse happening in a zodiac sign of Aries. So that's that eighth house, which is death, inheritance, and others' resources, money of other people. And when you've got a solar eclipse in Aries, this heralds super important new beginnings, really big big, powerful beginnings in your 8th house. So for the Virgo risings, all the moving and shaking and the negotiation and the back and forward, well, on the 8th, something brand new comes to pass that I think you'll be quite excited about. This could really set you in motion on the 29th for accumulating really big wealth for yourself in the future, or a partner, be it intimate or otherwise, could also have a very lucrative financial opportunity come knocking on their door as well on the 29th. So big day, and it's all connected to other people's finances, death, inheritance, tax and debt. And there's something really big happening for you, Virgo risings, because that's a solar eclipse in Aries, and that is huge. Okay, enjoy that. On the 30th, we have a lot going on this day, ending the month of March. So your ruling planet, Mercury retrograde, conjuncts Neptune, again indicates a really nice opportunity to end something, begin something, and it's with relationships or contracts. So you're all up in absolute certainty mode of what you want and what you don't want, and you're executing. So I think this can be a quite a ethereal day, quite a pleasurable day on the 30th when your ruling planet Mercury conjuncts Neptune. The same day, Saturn sextiles Uranus, and this can be, again, with Uranus and Taurus in 9th house, this indicates that there could be like a sudden change, a fortunate change that comes from travel plans, foreign people, places or faces, education, that is quite easy to connect with regarding certainty and determination with what it is that you're ready to go forward with. So the 30th looks quite impactful, Virgo risings. And the cherry on top of the Sunday on the 30th of March ends with Neptune ingressing into the zodiac sign of Aries, your 8th house. We need to talk about this because this is huge. It's been 165 years, for goodness sake, since Neptune's been in the zodiac sign of Aries. It deserves a bit of time. Okay. So Neptune's been transiting in Pisces, your 7th house, Virgo rising, since 2011. And when Mercury steps into Aries, it'll be a brief visit because it will retrograde back into Pisces, your 7th house. But Neptune will be here in Aries, your 8th house, until the 5th of July, and that's when it goes into a retrograde. So Neptune in your 8th house of other people's money, death, tat, inheritance, all those subjects that we have been talking about, because that's where your focus is for the month. Now Neptune's here giving you, think of Neptune, this is like a soft opening. A soft opening is like, it's the beginning of something, but it's not really official. And in your house of shared resources, debt, tax, inheritance, other people's resources and money, others' money, Neptune in Aries can make dreams come true. And dreams can come true anytime in our lives, absolutely. But Neptune in Aries, Mars' zodiac sign of action and strategy and passion, there'll be no blurred lines in what road to take. And when there's no blurred lines in what road to take regarding Mars' zodiac sign of Aries with let's go for this, let's grow this, let's do this, Neptune really can't do anything but comply with the Mars energy of let's make something happen. And Neptune is about dreams, illusion, delusion. It's ethereal, it's magical, it's mystical, it's spiritual, all of that stuff. And then you think about it transiting for a few months in a soft opening in your 8th house of shared resources. Wow, it's like a partner having a dream offer. Is it actually going to gel and come to pass though? What about debt, tax, and inheritance? You know, those subjects, those real things that we have to deal with at some point in our life. How are those things becoming easier to deal with, other than daunting? Where you get the ball rolling on really executing and making things happen in your wealth house, the 8th house. So Neptune's sort of giving you a taste, but keep in the back of your mind, Virgo risings, that Neptune's going to be retrograding back. And what are planets retrograde? They herald delays, setbacks, and change. So that is something to keep in your back pocket. But for now, from the 30th of March until the 5th of July, seek out people that can help you make big money. Get on top of debt, tax, inheritance, and death topics and subjects. Do it. Get your stuff in order when it comes to your own personal plans for, I don't know, your funeral, for example. Or a partner. Help a partner out. Get on top of it. This would be a great time to do it. Seek out services that can help you. You might be ready to look at those subjects more intimately with a partner as well. This would be a big focus. But the 8th house is heavily connected to you as a Virgo rising. So for me as an astrologer, I would recommend not having your head in the clouds about get rich quick money schemes. If a partner is flimsy or can't answer you where their money's going or not going, I'd get on top of that and have some tough conversations with them, because when Neptune goes into Aries permanently in 2026, you want to be able to feel confident about your financial future, and especially with a partner and with shared resources, be it through contracts or work. Example, you need to be able to have some sure footing, which I'm sure you're more than adept at as a Virgo rising, to get on top of it. But because that 8th house is so concentrated, it's like a sort of hammering down the message. Are you getting it? Are you getting it, Virgo rising? This 8th house really needs your attention. And there's lots of opportunities here too for really big wealth moving forward from the month of March. So good luck with all of that, Virgo rising. That's your astrology for the month of March. Wow, it's just a lot, isn't it? It really is. So what would be my practical way of working with the astrology for the month of March? Take self-care days. Don't get lost in the juice and the sauce of other people's stuff. Try to keep a healthy boundary. Yes, it's easier said than done, but your ruling planet's going to be retrograding, very active in the 8th and 7th houses. These are houses that are dealing with other people, and it can be exhausting and draining. So we want to be able to say no and love ourselves, as well as loving others at the same time as when we're helping them and being in service to other people. We've got to be in service to us. Okay. So there it is. I'll leave you with it. Lots to chew over. Until next time, Virgo rising, stay cosmic.